This game is beautiful, right? I drive down some of these streets and I can't even believe I'm looking at a video game sometimes. Comparing this to San Andreas, a game that came out just 4 years earlier, it's like night and day. And as someone who looks for weird little spots in games, I have to change how I come at this. This is where Rockstar really took their environmental design to the next level. They created a fully immersive world. And we're not going to find many spots that are super video gamey. So we'll just spend some time appreciating the work they did put in. And maybe, along the way, we'll find a weird spot or two. This is Grand Theft Auto 4's Liberty City, and welcome to Video Game World Tours. Today we're going to be exploring the Broker, Dukes, and Bohan district. After all, Broker is the place where Nico arrives into Liberty City. I'm playing through this game for the first time since getting it around release way back on the 360. I don't really remember beating the game, but I remember goofing around with friends online and playing a little bit of the story. And I definitely remember the train tracks above Nico's first apartment on Mohawk Avenue. Ever since I first played this game, this is the spot that came to my mind when I thought of GTA 4. It's not super distinct on its own. Like, I'm imagining if Nico's first safe house was on the street just east of here. I could imagine this street being just as iconic, with these interesting buildings on this side and the long staircases on the other. But this was the street chosen for the safe house, and just through that fact alone, this space is iconic. I noticed this empty lot across the street from the apartment. Nothing going on here, it's just a super empty space. This isn't even a parking lot, it's just vacant. And down here's an alleyway. We did a little bit of alley spelunking in my GTA 3 and San Andreas videos. If you like doing that, this game is a gold mine. Look at all the paths between the streets here, there's just so many. We won't do a whole lot of that in this video, I just wanted to show off at least one. Foliage floating off the ground? I hope someone got fired for that blunder. A single lonely door. I kinda feel bad for the little guy, he has nothing around him. Well, there's a light just above it, but not even a trash can or a dumpster nearby on the ground? Poor fella. Nearby is a cabaret club. I definitely made it a point during my San Andreas tour to talk about being able to explore interiors designed for missions after the fact. I like being able to see an area outside of the hustle and bustle of completing a mission. And while this area of the club does have a use outside of the mission that brings you here, the back rooms don't. You're still able to go backstage and snoop around. You can even go in the office. There's an arcade machine where you can play cubed. Isn't that cute? I looked online to see if anyone had made a list of all the buildings you could enter. I found this post on the GTA subreddit by user stillmap6376. They highlighted all the enterable buildings they could find on a map and wow, look at all of those. A lot of these are spots that are marked on the map, like restaurants or gun shops, but others are places you come to for missions. And according to the comments, they didn't even include a ton of random apartments that have no purpose at all. This game feels so special because of that. No Rockstar game before or since has given so much love to random interiors that you have no reason to enter. This game is special for a lot of reasons, with perhaps the most eye-catching reason being the look. This is beautiful. It's weird how I think this game from 2008 looks better than the sequel from 2014 that technically had visual updates all the way till 2022. Grand Theft Auto 4 looks better than Grand Theft Auto 5 to me. I don't think it's necessarily more technologically impressive. From a tech perspective, GTA 5 definitely has a lot more going on. But artistically, I prefer this. The overall vibes of this game make it such a distinct entry in the series. That's something GTA really excelled at for a while. Each game felt super unique, not just because of the story or the characters, but the simple color filter. GTA 3 had a gray and blue kind of thing going on. San Andreas definitely had the brown haze. In this game, I don't know. I don't quite know how to describe this look. Green maybe? Brown? I just know that I'll see mod showcases online where people add a new reshade preset and it just doesn't look right. Something about the desaturated look Rockstar went for with this game really works. It's such a specific art direction, and it effectively locks in your perception of the world. Like if Rockstar used a filter like this with the game, we wouldn't think anything of it. But they chose this, and that's how the game looks. I felt like they were so good at choosing specific looks for a game, and GTA 5 kinda dropped the ball for me in that way. I hope Rockstar looks back to their earlier games when deciding on a look for GTA 6. San Andreas and 4 here are unmatched and just raw vibes based on the color palette. Let's get back to exploring the world. Firefly Island is towards the southern end of the Broker District. It's a cute little amusement park. It's closed, unfortunately, but all the buildings are up and you can still walk around. I think it's kinda funny that the environmental artists built all these buildings and attractions, only to have this place be closed. Like if you're gonna go to the effort of making this space, why not make it open? I guess it kinda does fit the rundown vibes of this section of the map. Plus, the Broker District is based off Brooklyn in real life. I admittedly don't know much about New York City as a whole, let alone Brooklyn, but I've heard of Coney Island before. Of course they had to put their own little version of it in this game. Huh, that machine is placed so close to the fence it's clipping through. I hope someone got fired for that blunder. Well, I know what I gotta do. I'm the king of the globe. Nearby is Beachgate. I don't have much to say about this place, other than that it serves as good contrast from all the claustrophobic streets we looked at earlier. I mainly wanted to point out how the guardrail down here is broken, and right past it is, well, water. All that stops you from taking a nice swim are a few dinky cones. Funnily enough, there's 2 rusted cars just over the edge. I guess 2 unlucky souls couldn't come to a stop in time. Rest in peace. We have to go a bit further north to reach our next spot, and it's a spot that's kind of unique, as it's one we get to revisit from a previous tour. Kinda. Francis International Airport. Francis International was the final spot I covered in my GTA 3 video, which also took place in Liberty City. But for those who don't know, GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas are in their own universe, while 4 and 5 are separate from them. So while Francis International Airport is technically in 3 and 4, they are nothing alike. Well, other than their airportness. And I remember pointing out in that video that you didn't get a star rating for getting on the runway. I thought that was cool. This game does give you a star rating. They send the cavalry after you. Even if you can't really get out and appreciate all this empty space without being shot at, I still dig it. It's also a good place to get going really fast. Always love spots like this. While the airport was my favorite place in that game, it's not my favorite in this game. We still have a ton more great spots to look at. A bit further west, right about here, there's a tiny back alley. You pull in, and it's just a tiny enclosed square lot. Maybe it's just because I have GTA 3 on the mind, but this reminds me of the first safe house you get in that game. Again, this isn't the exact one, but it evokes those vibes for me. Though it's kinda interesting by itself. It feels like there's a lot going on for this to be just a normal alley. Plus, what's this thing? Wait, is that parking? I guess so. This is genuinely bizarre. I've never seen anything like this before. New Yorkers, I do not give you permission to laugh at me and my small town ass for not immediately recognizing what this is. If you're gonna do it, at least hold it until after the video is over. Willis definitely seems like a super nice neighborhood. Well-maintained sidewalks, benches, trees? Can they even do that? Trees don't belong in New York City. Well, they're here at least, and they help the vibe. Oh man, this looks like it'd be an awesome place to walk around in. So many shops to visit and experiences to have. A movie theater doesn't get any cooler than that. And nature's cool too, I guess. Wait, that's a lot of trees. Okay, that's gotta be illegal. I'm ordering 10 high-rises to be installed over the park here this instant. Guess we can enjoy the park before it's demolished. Well, that's definitely based on something in real life, I can tell you that. It has that vibe about it. Pretty big building here. I want to go inside. Museum, ice skating. Well, which is it? Damn, can't go in. Now we'll never know if this is a museum or ice skating. A bit further north is an interesting spot. These completely abandoned structures are remnants of the Liberty City World Fair. I'm assuming that event was a good while ago because these are looking sad. Just look in there, oh, you can just walk right in. Wasn't expecting that. Yeah, look at this. They're doing nothing with this space. Considering how close it is to the bustling Meadows Park, you'd think they'd want to do something with it, but I guess not. They'd rather leave it to weather away. There's also these towers. I was already planning on talking about this space from what we could see here, but then I noticed a ladder. There's two actually. One takes you to a few different platforms on the way to the top, and the other takes you straight there. We'll take the direct route and climb the ladder. The ladder. Let's get to it. That really is a weird effect, how the FOV goes super wide when you pull the camera down. Not sure if I like it or not.
What a thrill.
And here we are. We get to look down at our kingdom. They even give little binoculars to zoom in with. I always love to climb really high in games and get a perspective like this. I get so used to seeing the world at ground level, it's easy to forget the big picture. Seeing worlds from above, ironically, it keeps me grounded. Oh, let's climb down before I get too nauseous. I'm not good with heights. Oh man, he's going fast. That can't be good for the hands. We'll go even further north and explore a bit of Bohan. We cross the bridge leading to it, and you know what they say, you only have one chance to make a first impression. They, could have worked on that a bit maybe. It's so sad coming at the island from this way. The other bridge leading here from Duke's isn't much better, but it's definitely not worse than this. Maybe I shouldn't be so quick to judge though. Maybe they have some big plans for this space to make your arrival into Bohan feel special. They don't have any big plans, I don't know what I'm talking about. I just say things sometimes. A delightful looking pipe. I wish I could get Nico to crawl in there, Mario style. I'm sure I'd be taken to a land of magic and wonder, and not just the dirty, filthy, nasty Liberty City sewage system. The Northern Gardens Projects is a nice place. They have a playground and a basketball court. Isn't that great? I walked up to the door of one of the buildings to see if I could enter. I couldn't, unfortunately, but I did notice some modeling errors. These two walls aren't perfectly aligned, so you can see right through them and into the void. There's just a plain old polygon missing. I hope someone got fired for that. Cute space. Further north is a park. I'm kind of fascinated with the designated nature spots in big cities like this. It's like they recognize that humans shouldn't just see gray skyscrapers all the time. So city developers put together this little fish tank in the middle of town, just so people can go back to their caveman roots and be at one with nature. I just wish they'd make the road here a little bit wider though. Even further north, at the northernmost point you can reach on the map, you approach the ocean. Water stretches out far past the horizon, and you wonder what lies just beyond it. Is Liberty City truly as isolated as this map makes it feel? I remember coming to a similar spot in roughly the same area of the GTA 3 map. It was the northern tip of the first island. That too had a big fat slab of concrete that I thought was interesting. Some people in the comments chimed in on what the purpose of it was, but I forgot. Leave a comment on this video reminding me. I promise to read your comment and then immediately forget it. There isn't any long stretch of it here, unfortunately. I loved picking up speed on that straightaway in GTA 3. Alright, our final spot for the video. I usually like to save the best for last in these videos. This upcoming spot is my favorite of the first chunk of islands in the game, and it might even be my favorite across all the islands, but we'll have to look at those spots later. Today, I want to focus on an iconic landmark in this game, A place that solidified this game in my memory for years to come when I first played it. A spot that has no relevance to the story, but a spot that has a ton of relevance to my heart. Welcome to the Grand Theft Auto 4 swing set. Pretzel, I hear you ask. What's so special about this swing set? The swings aren't even usable. Veterans of the game, I'm sure you know what's coming. Those less in the know, please, allow me to fill you in, to show you the greatness that these swing sets bring about. Isn't it beautiful? I remember playing this game online with my friends back on the 360, and we'd just do this continuously. Drive here in a cool car, ram into the swing set until it launches us, then come right back to do it again. Testing out different cars, walking into it on foot, and seeing how it'd fling you. Many memories were made at the various swing sets dotted around Liberty City here. I don't really remember playing in big lobbies with people back in the day, but I imagine you could get a pretty big crowd of people hanging out at this playground, just watching people take turns flinging themselves into space. This spot was created by Rockstar with no intention to have it stand out. It's just a normal playground. It's like the one we looked at in Northern Gardens. But through an unassuming glitch, this playground here was granted legendary status. I don't remember much about this game since I played it like a decade and a half ago, but you bet I remember the swing set glitch. That's a core memory right there. There might be more interesting spots we'll find on the other islands, but emotionally, there's no way they'll surpass the swing set here. This just means too much to me. Thanks for watching. You may laugh now.